This is an important video, and this is just a briefing on this subject because I'm going to be quick. But this is important, and I have to get this out of the way so people can see one of my other targets. So, if my name can be looked up, and also through my family, it'll kind of tell how I came up and some of the choices that I chose once leaving my family's path. But anyway, inside of my family, there were some, which is a story that we all can build off of also. But anyway, so I'm getting into me coming from a certain culture. So me understanding things, being in conflicts and being in the heart of this culture, but I've been in the heart of pretty much all cultures. But anyway, so and in this, it is important, or excuse me, in this subject and in this situation, in this culture, it is important that we point out some things because, and I spoke on this years ago. I've been sharing some of my videos showing that I've been speaking on many things for years, and I care about all cultures, but I also care, excuse me, I care about um, the incarcerated, but not just that, the people that don't understand and was not taught right. So what I'm getting at is we see some of the evil coming forth now in our in our culture, where it's like a swag thing or a a G thing, and a G thing would be more like, using the word gangster. You guys have to excuse me. I'm going to probably use some words, but I don't mean no disrespect to other cultures, and I need other cultures to stay with me and understand these things. But anyway, for this culture, it is important that we separate how we feel and what we do inside of our culture from the evil. And some people don't, and they might not care to, and those are going to be the ones that I want to target, or I have to target, because we see innocent people being harmed around the world a certain way. Now, some of this is going to come from the universe and and any religions that believe in peace. So any religion that believes in peace and just from the universe, uh, we are to uh, care for thy neighbor, which means everyone on earth are like brothers and sisters. Now, I'm using certain words right now to try not to speak spiritual or religious for those who don't believe, and so we all can kind of pull together and all kind of have the same understanding. But so, man, saying all of that, it probably got off track of where I was there, and I can start this video over and kind of pick up where I left off there. Actually, hold on. I'm gonna try and bring it all back together here, where I remember going off saying um, some of some of the actions from the culture come from a G thing, and I was gonna say there's a difference, or the okay, like, and then I was saying who I would target. And speaking of all any religions that believe in peace, and just not religious, or those that are not religious but still believe in peace, mixing it all together and bringing what I'm trying to say is the rap culture have to be careful what they say. I'm going to share a few clips of um, some examples of how evil is being mixed in the music and the actions with the evil is being mixed in to the music and the actions, and that is being mixed into the culture. Now, as far as and many things come from it with the culture, but what I'm saying is, like, we have our ways, and then some of this is not just with that culture; it is from a lifestyle. So, like how I was speaking a gangster's lifestyle, or let's say Yes, a gangster's lifestyle. Now, some gangsters don't, they're not really into all of that. You know, some, like, I know many have heard of gentlemen. Now, you have gentlemen that are just gentlemen, you know, you are taught to be a gentleman or have class. Now, some gangsters really, that is really their goal, to be the best gentleman that they can be. And perfection is how they try to present themselves, or how they try to present everything. Of course, there are issues within that lifestyle because some people do not believe in that lifestyle or believe in some of the ways. So now in that lifestyle, we have, let's say, you know, like how I said, conflicts. So you have the bad people, people that are evil, people that are hunting, and they think that gentlemen are easy prey. Now, especially if you are in that lifestyle, they think you're easy prey. So, what does that gentleman have to do, especially if it is a gentleman gangster? So, he has to stand his ground. So, that's how conflict is going on in that lifestyle, and some people don't understand that. They figure, okay, well, that gentleman gangster is not a gentleman gangster because he has all this other stuff going on. So that's your opinion. We understand your opinion. I don't mean, I'm not shooting no disrespect to anybody. Okay, so getting to the main issue is we have evil in the world, and I want our peoples to separate themselves from it. It ain't that, it doesn't take that much, because we can see how you're talented with the way the lyrics come out of the mouth, because the tongue is powerful. So the way that a person can use so many words in a short period of time, and I think that's why music is a big thing, because you can get so much of a big story out of so little. So and people are able to connect things to that. So I've always been, you know, like I say, I've always tried to be the gentleman gangster coming up, and that I've always had conflicts, but, or excuse me, however, I was able to succeed in many of my battles. Now, um, so okay, so getting to the main issue, I'm gonna try and wrap this up. Like I say, this is just a briefing on this subject. There's so much to be said, and I'm also going to share some clips. But, or excuse me, however, the what I'm trying to get to is, like I say, we want them to separate the evil from the lifestyle. That is, if they can. Now, the reason I have to get this out of the way, because this is going to be one of my main targets. Once we can get everyone situated, if we can get everyone situated, get a good system going, and if we can gather, and if we can um, raise what I am trying to raise, we will have access, and we will build another group. I want to call it a group right now. That way we don't, you know, we don't want to say too much, or, but anyway, we will have our own groups that will target certain areas. Now, the reason this video is important is because of how powerful that evil may be in this culture. Now, some of it comes from, like, let's say in the gangs, and some of it is different. I have an understanding of that. We're not going to target gangs, and we're not targeting gangsters or anything. At first, everybody will have an option. Everybody will have an option to come forth and um, try to take a stand for the universe and for everyone as a whole. So everyone will have that option, and that makes me think of the poetry thing, or the poetry idea that I want us to try and utilize. So people from all cultures can use the poetry platform to try and speak out to different cultures, kind of explaining up to that point, as far as like whatever their entertainment was. Like some people, you know, some people are rappers, some people do movies, or whatever it may be. Um, some people might want to join the poetry lane, from the political side, or from anywhere, just to kind of give their word out to the world, to give their apology out, and to take a stance. So, but anyway, everybody will have that option. Now, people will show, things will show. That's what I like about these days. Evil will not be able to hide now. And I don't like how long people have allowed this to go on. But anyway, so evil can't hide now, because if a person turns away, we'll know that they choose to do certain things. Now, we're not saying that um, people have to join us all the way. We just are on a hunt for evil. And I need people to understand how important this is, and for people to speak out against evil and how powerful evil is right now. So this is, it should move fast because evil is already so powerful and it already is in control of so much. But if we work this system the way that I know it can be worked, and we trust the process, it will override much. So, but, excuse me, however, uh, like I say, I'm trying to be quick with this. This is just a briefing on this situation. And like I say, that is a target of mine. Oh, yeah. And the reason I was saying it's important because let's say like in gangs and gangsters, it is over $1 billion industry. So this is just one of the reasons why we know we need so much, because it's like we've seen so many different situations in the world that has requested so much. Like, let's say the 1 trillion something dollars that they passed for the military, for the defense. Let's say the other 1 trillion something or whatever they're asking for now for government funding or whatever it is. Now, let's say, and like I say, so this is a huge industry right here to try and battle if everyone tries to pull together and stop this. So like I say, and these are very powerful people, in the gang world and gangsters. Now, like I say, shoot, these are my peoples. I am one of everyone really, but excuse me. And like I say, everyone have a choice. Everyone have an option to kind of try and pull it together for a positive. And for those that don't, for those that do not want to pull together for a positive, they will be a powerful force. So um, we have to be able to equal that out, which I know how to, which, I already know that people have only been building a certain amount. I know what everyone have. I know how strong everyone is. And that's how I was when I was in power. And that's how I always controlled things. I always knew what was what. Do my research, know where the power is, know how to cut the power out, um, and everything behind that. But also by me having a business mentality, being an entrepreneur for over 20 years, for so long, also being in many different trades or many different fields, business fields. Excuse me. Uh, I wanted to throw that in there to show like how much of an understanding that I have, and how and how I choose and how I know that we can go about this. So I'm pretty sure that we have many ex-soldiers, ex-servicemen and women over here on our land that would be willing to take a stance. Um, I'm pretty sure that we have soldiers. Like I say, we have gentlemen soldiers or gentlemen gangsters in the streets that ain't got no backup. Or excuse me, they do not have any backup. They're fighting for their lives also. And guess what? They're alone really until that's how they get power. And that's why they get, some people be like, why you guys praising certain people? Some people don't understand that, man, that person really fought in a certain, like you guys see it. They're taking lives. And I'm gonna share a few situations. We know how it is, and it's been going on for years. That's in that lifestyle, though. You have to be a soldier. You have to be smart, also. I've had many soldiers. Uh, I recruit a certain way, though. But anyway, I think I spoke enough on this, and I hope everything takes on this video here. Oh yeah, I want to let this video play out a little bit. Like I say, man, this is a powerful force right here, and letting the video play out a little more is showing. And these are different groups. Like some people, they don't even get along, but in what I have going on, they gonna have to get. Excuse me, I don't want to say too much, but I already know how things can go or how things gonna go. I know how to stop certain things. But let me play this a little more. That is not a weak force, man. If something like what I'm trying to pull together, and that's how I've always been. I'm a hunter myself. The universe made me a certain way, and a lot of people that know me, they'll tell you that I'm a I'm just a vessel. Trying not to say too much or the wrong things. However, I I was built this certain way where I like action. So I was always on the hunt. But also, by me being a positive gangster, I knew that I had to stand for other people. So that was one of the other things that always brought negative vibes to me, because there's always so much evil out there. So I always had evil around that I had to stand up to in the word, or excuse me, in the name of many religions, for those that believe, and in the name of, just those that just want peace and believe in peace. um so uh and I don't want to go on too much, but this is a powerful force. Oh yeah, I know. I was saying I'm used to this. I know what it takes. And that is actually one of my, that's what I thrive for. That is what I really want to do. So hopefully we can get everybody situated, and then, hopefully I can get to this. And I know that there's many people that want to be involved, and these people can be taught. They just haven't been touched yet. If you know, um, yeah. But anyway.